A Nigerian earning 150,000 naira per month and a Nigerian earning 1.5 million naira per month often end up in the same financial position by age 50. Same savings. Same debt. Same anxiety. The salary changed. The thinking did not. This is the most uncomfortable truth about money in Nigeria. And it is the one nobody wants to say out loud. So we are going to say it here on Wealth Code Africa. Subscribe now. New breakdown every week. Here is what the research actually shows. When economists studied wealth accumulation patterns across West Africa, they found that income level explained less than 30% of the difference between people who built lasting wealth and those who did not. The remaining 70% came down to something else entirely. It came down to the beliefs people held about money. Where those beliefs came from. And whether anyone had ever challenged them. To understand where Nigerian money beliefs come from, you have to understand the environment that created them. Between 1967 and 2006, Nigeria experienced military coups, a civil war, structural adjustment programs, currency collapses, and banking crises that wiped out savings overnight. The naira that could buy $1 in 1985 could barely buy a fraction of a dollar by 2000. Your parents and grandparents lived through all of this. And they developed a set of financial rules that made complete sense for that environment. Keep cash close. Do not trust banks. A government job is the safest path. Land is the only real asset. Do not show your wealth or someone will take it from you. These were not wrong rules. They were survival rules. Built for a specific economic war zone. The problem is that most Nigerians are still operating with 1985 survival rules in a 2025 investment environment. And the gap between those two realities is where most Nigerian wealth quietly disappears. This is what psychologists call inherited financial scripting. The money beliefs you absorb before the age of 7 from the adults around you. Most people carry these scripts their entire lives without ever examining them. And here on Wealth Code Africa, examining them is exactly what we do. There are 3 specific beliefs that research shows are most common among Nigerians who struggle to build lasting wealth regardless of their income level. The first is what economists call the scarcity mindset. The deep, often unconscious belief that money is fundamentally limited. That there is only so much available and if someone else has more, there is less for you. This belief makes people hoard cash instead of investing it. It makes them suspicious of other people's success. And it makes them spend money the moment they receive it because some part of them believes it will not last anyway. The second is what researchers call social performance spending. The pressure to spend money on visible markers of success, phones, cars, clothes, celebrations, before building invisible foundations like savings, investments, or assets. In Nigeria, this pressure is amplified by family expectations, community comparisons, and the cultural equation of visible spending with personal value. The person driving the newest car in their street is often the most financially fragile person on that street. The third is what financial psychologists call external locus of control. The belief that wealth is primarily determined by factors outside your control. Government policy. Who you know. What family you were born into. Luck. Connections. This belief is not entirely wrong. Systemic barriers in Nigeria are real. But when it becomes the dominant explanation for financial outcomes, it removes personal agency entirely. And without personal agency, there is no wealth building strategy. There is only waiting. Now here is what the 10% who build wealth consistently do differently. And this is the part that does not get talked about enough. They do not necessarily have better circumstances. Many of Nigeria's most successful wealth builders came from extremely difficult starting points. What they have is a different relationship with the concept of time. The scarcity mindset operates in the present tense. What do I need right now? What danger is coming right now? How do I survive this month? The wealth building mindset operates in the future tense. What does this decision cost me in 5 years? What does this habit build over 10 years? What does this investment return in 20? Dangote reinvested every profit back into the business for decades before the wealth became visible to the outside world. Jim Ovia spent years building Zenith Bank's reputation before the returns matched the effort. The compounding that built their fortunes was invisible for years before it became undeniable. Naira sense. Dollar vision. That phrase is not just a tagline. It is a description of this exact mental shift. Managing what you have with intelligence and discipline in the present, while building a vision of what it becomes in the future. So what do you actually do with this information? The first step is the hardest. Identify one inherited money belief you have never questioned. Not your belief about the economy or the government. Those are external. Your belief about yourself and money. Something like, people like me do not get rich. Or, money always leaves my hands quickly. Or, investing is for people with more than I have. Write it down. Then ask where it came from. Not to blame anyone, your parents did the best they could with what they knew. But to separate their survival environment from yours. The second step is to find one financial decision you have been postponing because of that belief. One investment. One savings account. One financial education resource. And make that decision this week. Not when you have more money. Not when things are more stable. This week. Because the most expensive thing in personal finance is not a bad investment. It is a good decision made 5 years too late. That is the wealth code. The system that separates the 10% from the 90%. Not circumstances. Not luck. Not connections. Thinking. That is the wealth code Africa way of thinking. Naira sense. Dollar vision. If this shifted something for you, share it with one person who needs to hear it. And subscribe. Every week we break down the systems, the stories, and the strategies behind African wealth. We will see you in the next one.